Hello everybody, I'm Jimmy Fantastic and this is my Orc guide. So Orcs are the team that I recommend to all new players. They're armor 9 across the board, they've got strength 4 for easy 2 dice blocks, and they've got 4 blitzers to have that block for that early reliability. They also have kind of a cheap team, so they get 3 rerolls as well as all of this. So they're just really very powerful, I think, out of the gate. And you know, they teach you the basics of caging and stuff, and they're slow enough that if you make a mistake you get punished and you know why you got punished. So I think they're a very good beginner team for that reason, but also they're good for vets as well. You know, they're solid. Although they're not as powerful as, like, say, Wood Elves or Skaven, Dark Elves or Lizardmen could be. They've got that base reliability to them, which you know I quite like, and they do have some power to them, but they kind of play fair. That's the problem with Orcs. They play fair. They don't have anything outrageous. So strength's strong and hard to injure. Yes, they are armor 9. They're the toughest team, second only to dwarves really. But then they've got the more strength than dwarves, so they're arguably harder to injure. They don't have as much block, so I guess not, and they don't have thick skull. Most players can be easily replaced when they're injured. I mean, that's not really strictly true. I guess their point is because they tend to take less attrition, they have more money in the bank to replace players. But of course it's not easy to replace a skilled Black Orc. But never mind. Blitzers have the best price to performance ratio. Well, in the team, certainly not in the game when you compare them to Gutter Runners and War Dancers and Saurus. But yeah, they're good. They're really good players. No real agility player. Yeah, their thrower sucks. That's the thing about Orcs. The thrower is so bad, movement 5 and armor 8. He's a terrible, terrible thrower. But, you know, it's not that big a weakness, really. It's difficult to level up Black Orcs. It's not that difficult because you can often dominate games and be able to hand off to them. You do have 4, so likely one's going to be in a good position. It's very hard, this is a bit irrelevant, but it's very hard to skill up Flesh Golems because you've only got 2. But when you've got 4 Black Orcs, you're often going to find 1 free to take the hand off and score. So it's not too difficult to level them up. And then average speed, yeah, I'd say they're slow actually. But it's a fair comments from Cyanide there. Let's have a look at the players. Just do some kind of a thing here. Right. So the big guy, the troll. I don't often take him, to be honest, and the reason for that is I mostly play in matchmaking, TV-based matchmaking, which makes him more likely that you face Claw if you have this guy instead of a lineman, basically. And with Orcs, you really want to avoid Claw. So he's 4519. He's a very good big guy, 110k, very good value for money. He's got Mighty Blow, obviously, because he's a big guy. Loner, because he's a big guy. Really stupid is pretty bad, but it's only bonehead most of the time, as long as you're reasonably intelligent. And obviously you can throw goblins, but sometimes eats them. So that's okay. I would only take the goblins like a 13th player. And regen's obviously great. 4+ he heals injuries. He only has strength access, so on normals you're taking guard first, and then probably stand firm, then maybe grab. I don't like break tackle on him, but maybe if he had dodge. Doubles, definitely block first, then dodge. Just because he's a roadblock, isn't he? He's strength 5 with guard. That's the thing. Because he's got Mighty Blow, he's probably going to get 3 Kaz pretty quickly, reasonably quickly, and then get guard, and then he's hard for your opponent to deal with being a strength 5 guarder. I think he's a very, very good player, and if I didn't just play mostly matchmaking, you know, in leagues, he's a lot more. If you're going to play in any kind of league, you probably want to troll at least eventually, and 13 players eventually. Right, Blitzers, 80k, 6339 block, very, very good players. It's debatable which is better between them and Human Blitzers, except Human Blitzers are 90k and these are 80, so they are very, very good. General and strength, so they want to go guard first. Probably 3 of them would want to go guard first, but the first one who skills, I go Mighty Blow first, so you get that sweet Mighty Blow blitz every turn. And they probably all want to be guard, Mighty Blow, piling on tackle eventually. Those 4 skills. Doubles, you want dodge. If you want to go dodge on your Black Orcs, but you don't even need to take any doubles with Orcs. But jump up if you've already got Mighty Blow piling on. I don't like having jump up before I've got Mighty Blow piling on. Movement is okay, but I would only take movement if you already had Sure Hands. Oh yeah, and I build one to have Sure Hands generally. He will still probably have guard. And so strength's obviously great on anybody. Agility, if you roll an agility or a movement, then you probably go Sure Hands if you want to go the Sure Hands route, which is what I do. So that's Blitzers. Black Orcs, 80k, 4429. Seems like a decent deal until you realise Saurus are movement 6 and agility 1 for the same cost, and I'd much rather them be 6419 than 4429. They're really slow and they can't really dodge. I mean, you can dodge with them occasionally, but obviously it's only if things are really desperate. I always go block first on them, and then Mighty Blow guard. But you could easily go guard first on them, or even Mighty Blow if you want. You know, it's not really wrong. But I tend to go block guard on them, and then that frees up. If you get a dodge on third skill, you can go blodge guard. Blodge guard is obviously great, and then you could go stand firm. But yeah, doubles dodge is the only real option. And you could go to legend with normals. You could have block, guard, Mighty Blow, piling on, and then stand firm and dodge, tackle, whatever. They're pretty good players, but they definitely want block guard as the first two, I think. Right, the thrower. Ugh. Look at him. Look how bad he is. He's just. I'd rather have a lineman with short hands. That's how bad he is. He's 70k. He costs the same as a human with a lineman with sure hands, but he's worse because he's got armor 8. He's never going to pass it. He's got no one to pass it to. He's got sure hands. He's good for like NAF style tabletop tournaments because you're afraid of wood elves. You could take him in a very short number of games league, like, you know, if you were going to do 7 games or something, 8 people doing 7 games, you could maybe take him there just for the against war dancers. But I really hate him. Obviously, you would take any of these 3 stat ups, dodge on doubles, and then you're talking like block, leader, kick-off return, those kind of skills. I really don't like him though. Really don't like throwing. Right, goblins. Now, I would probably just have a rookie goblin as a 13th player if I had a troll. If he were to get any skills, then I guess sprint, sure feet would be the 2 obvious ones to increase the chance of a 1-turn touchdown, and catch maybe. Movement would help him with that. Strength, it would just be a waste of TV. Agility would make him pretty good at dodging around, but he's not especially fast. He's obviously not strong. He is good at dodging with dodge and stunty, but his main thing is just to get thrown. Well, a cheap reserve, you know, a cheap fouler. But if you want a fouler, you foul with the best lineman in the game. Well, that's maybe a slight exaggeration, but they're really good. I think Orc lineman would make it on any team if you could have at least one. I think any team would want this guy on their team. 5'3", 3'9" for 50k. That's great value. Unbelievably durable. You can dodge and do stuff if he has to. He's obviously pretty much on the slow slide, but armor 9 is you can't overemphasize how good armor 9 is. The only bad thing is, of course, is he only got general. So you're talking block, fend probably, because your linemen are going to be on the line taking hits. Block, fend, maybe tackle if you really wanted, but I wouldn't bother. Or just dirty player as the first skill. So yeah, I really like them, but they just tend not to get picked that much. And the reason is because just the rest of the team is really good. So this is the build that I almost always run, and I'll be using for the Pro Tips Orc series, which I'm starting now. So you've got 3 rerolls, 4 blitzers, 4 black orcs, 3 linemen. And, you know, this is for matchmaking, TV-based matchmaking, like the Champion Ladder. That's what I'll be on in Blood Bowl 2. Eventually, well, the first purchase will be an Apothecary, and then I'll probably get a 12th player. Maybe I might keep it 11, to be honest, and drop down to 2 rerolls eventually. Yeah, I might just keep it as 11. It's just that I do like that little bit of reliability getting the 12th player. But it's all a trade-off, isn't it? It's a trade-off between power and reliability is what you always have to select when you know, taking rerolls. You could drop a reroll and have a troll, and then that gives you more power but less reliability, and that's always the trade-off that you make. But this is definitely the build that I'll almost always use. In a tabletop tournament, you would get an extra 100k. So I would think about getting the Troll as a 12th player and then upgrading a lineman to a thrower, purely as a counter to War Dancers. And then obviously you've got 12 players, so you could bench him on defense then. And then obviously the Troll gives you that extra strength. And if it was like a perpetual league where you really want as much TV as possible, Orcs would be a bad shout for that, because eventually they're going to run into the Claw wall. When you're talking 1800 Chaos, are just going to smash them to pieces with Claw Mighty Blow piling on. So they wouldn't be a good choice for that. But if you were going to use them, then you would definitely want the Troll. So I'd probably start him. I would just start the Troll here in exchange for a reroll. But I wouldn't use them in that. The way I use Orcs is to hover around, 1400, 1500 at max, and just beat people with Block Guard, Mighty Blow. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I guess actually I could show you my old Orc team here that was in the Cabal Vision. They did okay, 23-1-1, and this is kind of what you'd be looking at for a developed Orc team. You've got a stat freak here with Frenzy. Oh yeah, I always like a Frenzy Blitzer. There you go. But I mean, he's pretty cool, isn't he? Brilliant sweeper, movement 7, strength 4 with Frenzy. He's getting people down. Dropped down to 2 rerolls. Mighty Blow piling on guard there. Tackle, Mighty Blow piling on with jump up. Block guard, block guard, block guard, Mighty Blow. Leader on a Black Orc, so I had 3 rerolls still. So that only saved me 30 TV. I'm not sure it was a great decision, but there you go. I was all about controlling the TV and 4 skillless linos. So that was okay, and 1470 TV total. So there you go. That wasn't a very long video, I don't think, but that was pretty much it. So I'll be starting the pro tips up. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and stay fantastic.